Hey, are you familiar with how Rome fell? I'm not gonna bore you with the details, but if I could chalk it up, they started making emotion based decisions instead of logic based decisions, and well, that's how you end up there. Now, Time, I gotta say, Time used to be prestigious, man. Like Time magazine, my goodness, is the most it was as high class as you could get. Well, times they have changed now, haven't they? And this article, and within this article, they are not even hiding what they are attempting to do here. And hopefully, I believe it that women are smarter than this, right? So check this out. Vote for the woman because she's a woman. This is all the ladies that were elected. And it's like, oh my goodness, this is so great. This is such a great thing. And I'm just like, this is written by Catalin Mascatello. In February, Nevada became the first state in the country with a female majority legislature. By June, with the help of the state's Democratic governor, there were stronger laws ensuring equal pay for women, myth, tougher penalties for domestic violence, okay, better protection for sexual assault providers, more money for family planning services, and end to a requirement that forced doctors to ask women their marital status before performing an abortion, and an increased minimum wage. Okay, let's break down everything that she said right there. Stronger laws. So there were laws on the books already. Tougher penalties. So thusly there were already penalties. Better protect. So there were already protection. More money. So there was already money. Like that's do you not see what I'm getting at? Like you're not really, all you're doing is adding on top of what was already there for you. You're not particularly breaking any ground here, darling. If anyone needed proof that having more female lawmakers benefits women, Nevada certainly makes a compelling case. And the deal is that having a lawmaker anywhere is supposed to benefit the constituents, all of them. Gender, race, ethnicity, background, religious belief, all of it be damned, because guess what? All of those people there are paying taxes in one form or another. Make no mistake. And yet, female voters have often rejected the idea that women should vote with their gender in mind because, yeah, like I said, women are smarter than this. Like, damn it, guys! Like you. In 2016, Nancy Pelosi told Politico podcasters, "I don't think that any woman should be asked to vote for someone because she's a woman." Thank you, Nancy. Okay, thank you, Nancy P. It should be a policy thing. Like, you should be voting for people based on their policies and literally nothing else. Of course, it would be ridiculous to suggest that someone hot party lines to vote along gender roles. To vote along gender ones, or support a candidate who fails to prioritize what she sees as a key issue. But in primaries where contenders have similar ideologies, there's a strong argument to be made for backing a woman. In their book, Gendered Vulnerability, see, this is what I've been telling y'all about this gender nonsense. They keep trying to be like, oh yeah, men and women, we're the exact same thing, dude. And it's, no, we're not. We are not. How women work harder to stay in office. Political scientists Jeffrey Lazarus and Amy, found that women in Congress are generally more effective than their male colleagues. Really? Because if you look at Congress, they ain't really like it's. I'm looking at if you look at Congress as a whole, they ain't really moving mountains. So what are you talking about? How effective are they really? They point out the fact that Congresswomen tend to have more staff in their district offices, serve on committees for issues that are of most interest to their constituents, and are more likely to co-sponsor legislation that helps their voters. Separate research shows that female lawmakers bring more federal money back to their districts. Just had a conversation about stats now, didn't we? Women are more likely to run for elective office for the right reasons, too. In her book, Women Transforming Congress, political science professor Cindy Simon Roenthal describes surveying lawmakers about why they got into politics. Most male legislators said it was something they always wanted to do. Female legislators, on the other hand, said they hope to create social change and become more involved in their communities. In many instances, men run for office to be something while women run to do something. Oh my goodness. Perhaps most significant, female lawmakers better represent women's interests, pushing laws in areas frequently prioritized by female voters, including healthcare, civil rights, and issues affecting families. Really, what families? You're sitting there, like, that's the thing about all this feminism and stuff. You're just like, oh yeah, this is what we're doing all these great things for women. You're not doing these great things for family. You're doing great things for women, and then that's in order to push an agenda that's actually antithetical towards us building and having better families. Yeah, I'm full of crap. Pushing laws in areas frequently prioritized by female voters. One major roadblock in getting such legislation passed, however, could be that there simply aren't enough women in office to usher it through. A 2018 political science research and methods study found that women proposals are systematically dismissed and disregarded throughout the legislative process relative to those of men. Oh boy, it's impossible to say for sure whether equal representation would change that. Women still make up only about a quarter of Congress and 29% of state legislatures, but it's reasonable to conclude that without more women in office, the issues women care about most will continue to be brushed aside. They're not, but that's the thing. You admitted in the beginning of this article that all these issues have been addressed. All that you guys really want to do is put more is focus more resources into it, despite the fact that, hey, yeah, you have achieved this position that you've desired to be in, right? I mean, did anybody stop the writer of this article from becoming a writer? Did anybody stop Nancy Pelosi from, because Nancy Pelosi been in the game for a real long time? So let's not act like this is something brand new here. Deal is that, oh yeah, like all these studies, particularly when you're looking at institutions such as Congress, yeah, these things have been in play long before. There's so many legacy a-holes around there, and guess what? They the same ones that's been in there since for the last 40, 50 years. So come on, miss me, man, miss me. Here's what we do know. White men, account for about a third of the U.S. population, but dominate our political system. It's not because they're more authentic or electable or any of the other vague terms thrown around when candidates are discussed, but rather because white men run for office more than anyone else. Well, there you go. Okay. And the deal is that you run on your ideas, run on your platform. Don't run on your vagina. Run on your ideas and run on a platform, and they should be able to beat. Let the best idea win, battleground of ideas. And if the woman has the better idea, then let's rock with that. If the man has the better idea, then let's rock with that. But either ways, you don't get to sit there and cry like not racism, but sexism or anything else like that when it's convenient, and create a victim within and of yourself, because that's exactly what they're aiming to do. Oh boy. In the 2018 election cycle, women and people of color were just as likely as white men to win their races once they were on the ballot, according to a report by the Reflective Democracy Campaign. And with Democratic women running in record numbers, it was women, and importantly diverse women, who flipped the House from red to blue. Well, congratulations. Let me tell you something. As a black man, there's been a 900% increase in elected representation, but if you look at our communities are still mired in crime and poverty. So exactly what does voting for somebody based on an identity trait or something that is not applicable to policy, how does that benefit anybody? Imagine in Washington and in state legislatures across the country, women being represented by people who innately understand their experiences because they have lived them. But that's the thing. No, they haven't. What the fuck are you talking about? This is ridiculous. They have not. Nobody lives the same life. No two people live the exact same life. And guess what? If they do, if they're right next to each other, if they're Siamese freaking twins, you know what? They both process that life in a different way, because we are biologically, we are all just different. We do not see the world. We process things differently. We bring in we intake information differently. So no, they do not. They have not lived their experience. Oh, what, y'all? Oh, so we're connected because we both bleed once a month. Well, congratulations. Shoot. Yo. The only way to get there is to vote more women into office. And not only that, but women of color, LGBTQ women, immigrant women, women with young kids, women with no kids, women from different economic, religious, and ethnic backgrounds. There are gains even in the trying. Just look at yourselves, look at yourselves. Land on Plymouth Rock. This lady, it's that intersectionality, which is complete nonsense. But what else? Having multiple women in the 2020 Democratic presidential primary has already changed the discourse of the election. In the first two debates, candidates talked about abortion access and equal rights amendment and the wage gap, with women out on stage addressing those issues. Then the men have been forced to do so as well. The female candidates have also led the way on proposals for paid leave and affordable child care policies. So go ahead, vote for her, and her, and her, and her, right down the ballot. If someone asks why, don't hesitate to give a short answer, because she's a woman. It's as good a reason as any. Yo, let me tell you something, man. If a person, no matter who or what they are, if they are not pushing policies that's going to help you and your family continue and further on, then guess what? It don't matter. None of it matters. The identity stuff just doesn't matter, man. It really doesn't. And I came across this article and I was like, you know what? Yeah, I gotta wreck this one. I guess it's Women Equality Day on this channel because, yeah, the videos so far have been really nuts. But I do want to do that atheism is unstoppable video. So I got one on deck for those of you who signed up because I do cover AIU. With that being said, we're gonna bring this one to an end. All the internet stuff. If you liked it, toss it a like. Dislike, yeah, go ahead, do that too. I ain't scared of you. Sub if you enjoy my fantastic voice and you want to get videos like this every single day. Share because sharing is caring. And YouTube, YouTube got rid of James Alsop, man. That's nuts. I might do a video on that because I like James Alsop. I think he believes what he believes, and damn it, it wasn't this. I didn't get this whole racist vibe from him that they were clearly going with. He's just, and this is just like with the Tucker Carlson thing that they're sitting here saying, hey, we have to get back to providing for our young men and our young ladies. You know what I'm saying? It's sad. It sucks. And let me know. What do you think in the comments? Are you going to vote for people just because they share a trait that has absolutely nothing to do with their policies or what they aim to do legislatively? By all means, I'd love to hear your comments in your comments. And until the next one.